We often think of war as a grim and serious affair of grand strategies, famous generals, and heroic last stands. While it is certainly all of those things, it is also a stage for some of the most bizarre and unbelievable moments in human history. From a war sparked by a stolen bucket to a military regiment made entirely of women who were nicknamed the Night Witches, the annals of conflict are filled with stories that defy logic and stretch the limits of credibility. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on some of the most peculiar and mind-boggling moments from history's battlefields, proving that the truth is often stranger and funnier than fiction. Let's start with a war that, at first glance, seems utterly ridiculous: the War of the Oaken Bucket. In 1325, a small conflict erupted between the rival Italian city-states of Modena and Bologna. The catalyst? A bucket. After a Modenese raiding party snuck into Bologna and stole a wooden bucket from a well, the Bolognese were so insulted that they declared war. The ensuing battle, known as the Battle of Zoppolino, involved thousands of soldiers and resulted in over 2,000 casualties. Despite the high price, the war ended with a Modenese victory. The bucket, a testament to the pettiness of the conflict, was never returned and is still displayed in Modena's town hall bell tower to this day. During World War II, a group of Soviet women proved that courage and skill know no gender. Officially the 588th Night Bomber Regiment, the German soldiers they fought against gave them a much more menacing nickname: the Night Witches. These brave pilots flew antiquated biplanes made of plywood and canvas, which were so loud that the Germans could hear their distinctive whoosh 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 sound as they flew low to drop their bombs. They were a formidable force, flying over 30,000 missions, and were so effective that any German pilot who shot one down was automatically awarded the prestigious Iron Cross. Their story is a powerful reminder of the incredible roles women played in combat, often in defiance of gender norms and with extraordinary results. The Battle of Crécy in 1346 was one of the most significant battles of the Hundred Years' War. It's famous for the devastating effectiveness of the English longbowmen against the French knights, but it also saw one of the most unusual acts of bravery, or foolishness. The blind King John of Bohemia, an ally of the French, was determined to fight despite his handicap. He commanded his knights to tie his horse to theirs so that he could be led into the thick of the fighting. His banner was then tied to the standards of two other knights, so he could be seen from afar as he charged. He was killed in the battle, but his extraordinary, if ill-advised, courage became a symbol of chivalry and a source of inspiration for later generations. The Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896 holds the record for being the shortest war in history. Tensions between the British and the Zanzibar Sultanate had been escalating for days, but the breaking point came when the new sultan refused to recognize a British-appointed ruler. The British issued an ultimatum, and when it was ignored, they opened fire on the Sultan's palace and his royal yacht. The Sultanate's forces, completely outmatched, surrendered after just 38 minutes. The bombardment resulted in hundreds of casualties on the Zanzibari side, while only one British sailor was wounded. The entire conflict was a brief and brutal display of imperial power, a one-sided battle that barely lasted longer than a YouTube video. In a truly bizarre episode of World War II, an American destroyer, the USS Eldridge, was supposedly the subject of a top-secret experiment by the US Navy in 1943. Known as the Philadelphia Experiment, the project allegedly aimed to make the ship invisible to enemy radar. According to the legend, the experiment went catastrophically wrong, and the ship not only became invisible but also reportedly disappeared entirely from the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard and reappeared at another naval base hundreds of miles away in Virginia. While the US Navy has consistently denied that any such event ever took place, the tale has become a staple of conspiracy theories and science fiction, a fascinating blend of historical events and a powerful myth. The Battle of Chosin Reservoir during the Korean War was one of the most brutal battles for the US Marines. Trapped in sub-zero temperatures and surrounded by a much larger Chinese force, they were in desperate need of a resupply of ammunition. The code name for the resupply drop was Tootsie Rolls. However, a mix-up in communication meant that instead of receiving the much-needed ammunition, the Marines were airdropped a large supply of Tootsie Rolls, the candy. While initially a source of bitter disappointment, the hard candy proved to be a lifesaver. The soldiers ate them for sustenance and, more ingeniously, used them to plug leaks in their fuel lines and repair equipment, a small, sweet silver lining in a dire situation. Warfare is not just fought with tanks and guns, but also with words and trickery. In World War II, a British unit known as the Ghost Army was created specifically to deceive the Germans. This secret unit consisted of artists, engineers, and sound experts who traveled across Europe, setting up inflatable tanks, fake artillery, and sound effects to create the illusion of a much larger army. They were so successful that they were able to stage entire fake invasions, diverting German forces away from real operations and saving thousands of Allied lives. Their story remained a closely guarded secret for decades after the war, a testament to the power of imagination and psychological warfare. If you found these facts as surprising as we did, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And to dive into more hidden histories and mind-blowing facts every week, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload.